Hey everybody, welcome to the Jesus is Changing My Life podcast. This is a space where everyday people will share their stories about how Jesus is changing their life. We hope you enjoy this episode, and we hope it encourages you to tell others about the God who is changing your life as well. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jesus is Changing My Life podcast. And I am here today with my friend and coworker, Korbin Gilliland. Say hi, Korbin.
What's up?
Yeah, Korbin is a member of our staff and is the student pastor here at Connection Point. And Korbin, I know this is your first experience with the Jesus is Changing My Life podcast. And so what we try to do is we just try to encourage people in a very short window about how Jesus is changing our lives in the present, and maybe even cause them to ask the question, like how Jesus can change their life in the future. And so let's start here, because a lot of people here in Sydney don't know you. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey to fall in love with Jesus?
Yeah. So I grew up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the greatest state that there is.
Wow.
And yeah, born and raised in Okie, and moved here to Sydney last year, June 2025. With my wife, Arian. And I grew up in church in Oklahoma, Bible Belt as can be. Like, there's a church every couple blocks. I mean, pretty similar to here. And yeah, that was my life, man. I was the church kid, youth group kid, worship team, Sunday school, all that stuff. And it was just all I knew. If I wasn't at home, I was at church. If I wasn't at school, I was at church. And so really didn't ask questions about that or about my faith until I was about 17. And I kind of came to the end of what my church experience had to offer me, which was Jesus is great and you're not, and you need him to get to heaven. So
like, if I could summarize that, you were going to church, and church was important.
Yeah.
It's not that it wasn't important.
Yeah.
But the relationship component of your relationship with Jesus there was still a gap there. And your church taught you the right things.
Yeah.
Which is like, you need him, but you're 17 years old and you're just now going like, what does it actually look like to need him?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I loved my church. I still do. I loved my parents. I loved that they made me go. All my friends were at church. But in terms of what being a disciple of Jesus actually was and was supposed to be, I didn't love what I was getting.
So if you're 17 and, how old are you now?
24.
24. So we're talking like 7 years ago that really started to wrestle in your spirit. A lot must have happened to get from 17-year-old Korbin to Pastor Korbin.
Yeah.
And so what was that journey like? I mean, was ministry always the plan in college, or, what did life look like in those years?
Yeah, ministry was never the plan for me. I am a COVID graduate, high school COVID graduate. So those of us out there, you know what it is. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to help people, and never wanted to be a pastor. Didn't come from a family of pastors. And so, yeah, I was just scrolling through my Gmail one day in that dreadful year of 2020, and if I didn't go into fire school, I was going to try to play baseball somewhere. So I just started emailing colleges, and one of those colleges happened to be Mid-America Christian, and they were going to let me join the baseball team. And so I was like, cool, I'll do that, and I'll just study education. I didn't really care about that part. I just wanted to play ball. And so I did that, and then I got there, and I wanted to learn more about the Bible, because I just recently started following Jesus, started being a disciple of Jesus and walking that out. And I had interacted with the Bible my whole life and had a relationship with it and a lot of experience with it, but I didn't know how to read it. And I didn't know what it was. and I wanted to be able to tell people about it. And so I wanted to take Bible classes, but that wasn't going to mesh well with education, is what I was told, so I didn't. Anyways, long story short, after a semester, I felt like God wanted me to take Bible classes, like, for all my classes. And so I did. And then about a year later, I stopped playing baseball and started working at a church with some middle schoolers, and it was a fun time.
Middle schoolers are special.
And I thought that, wow, maybe I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, that's how it happened.
Okay, so you went from I'm going to school only to play baseball to I'm going to school only for Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in the process of that, at what point did it click for you that it's not just I love the Bible, but I actually think I want to go into ministry, like I want to do this?
Yeah. Yeah, I started taking these Bible classes, and I loved it. Not because I was learning all this great information about the Bible, which I was, but because it was making sense to me. And it was helping me understand Jesus in a way that I never had before. And I wanted that. And I'm a connector, and I just love people, talking to people and being with people. And so, yeah, I would say, like, on my baseball team actually is kind of where it started. Like, there's a couple guys, and that it's a rough scene in the dugouts and on the fields. And so me and a couple guys really clung to each other, and I just really thought, like, God, if you want me to go into ministry and teach people about this, I will. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know I'd have to move. I didn't know, it might not make me the most money. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know anything about being a pastor before I was a pastor. So.
Yeah. So the fast forward of the story is we went through a season here at Connection Point where we were looking for a student pastor. I reached out to a couple people I trusted in the Church of God community throughout the country, and I had two different people reach back to me and say the name Korbin Gilliland, that he was a graduating senior from MacU and that he was different. And so I reached out to Korbin, and Korbin and I started a conversation about him coming here that really led to a decision for us to wait a whole year for Korbin to get married and to have a year under his belt. You worked at a school, right, for a year?
Yeah.
You were the Bible teacher?
I was.
Yeah. And so he did that for a year, waiting for the moment to come here. And so in June of last year, Korbin became our student pastor here, and Korbin, our students love you. And I know you love them, and so it's been a blast to watch. Now, all of that to say, that's not why we're here today.
Yeah.
Right? We're not here just to talk about how great our student ministry is, but, like, honestly, Korbin, more than a pastor, you're a disciple. And you've already used that word, I think, twice since you sat down. And so can you just kind of share from a personal place how Jesus is changing your life right now?
Yeah. I would say he's teaching me, and that's how he's changing my life and what he's teaching me, and it's so simple. But I think the reason he's teaching me it is because I never learned it in 24 years, is that he loves me. And it's changing my life because if I really believed it, then I wouldn't be insecure all the time, and I wouldn't try to be managing my image all the time, and I wouldn't, still have all this stuff, like all those things I mentioned. And so I would say his love is changing me. It's making me secure instead of insecure. It's making me trust instead of preserve. It's helping me walk in quiet strength and through humility and service than trying to make a name for myself. And so, I would just say that, God's love, in spite of my consistent failure, I feel a lot like Jacob, just the worst deceiver you can think of. I mean, the guy was just consistently deceiving people again and again. And God just continued to bless him for some reason.
Yeah.
And
The story of Jacob, you can find that, for those of you listening, in the book of Genesis. Abraham, who's really the father of Israel, has a son named Isaac, who eventually has a son named Jacob, who even just all the things he got that were good, he got from deception.
Yeah.
And so, and in the end, though, Jacob's name is changed.
Yeah.
Right? He gets a really cool name. What's that?
Israel,
right? And so, like, we end up with this guy who's a deceiver, who ends up, his name goes down as the name of the people who are followers.
Yeah.
And if we're all being honest, I think deception is part of all of our story.
Yeah.
Trying to manage ourselves, manage our own image. So when you get in spots where you feel insecure, or you get in spots where you like are more worried about how others see you than how God sees you, how are you handling that right now?
Yeah. I would say prayer, and not the, like, again, going back to my story, the spending an hour on my knees in prayer, or reading, Psalm 119 every morning, which are great things that we do sometimes. But I would say it's confession of my insecurities. It's confession of my doubt. It's confession of my own image of myself. And then it's hearing God's image of me and what he thinks, and that I don't have to try to take something that he's already trying to give, which is his love and his mercy, and that he's already offered to me in Jesus, to us in Jesus. And so I would say I would say through prayer, mostly confession, journaling, just silent prayer, and committing myself to that, especially when I get in those spots of, insecurity, deception, sin, and it's a journey.
I do think it's interesting that you bring up insecurity and you bring up like struggling with a little bit of like, who am I as a person? But then there's also this part of you that's like trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think those can seem like opposites, but they're actually not. Like, our own insecurity is what drives us sometimes to like have a name or to be known, or it's not like you're either insecure or you're prideful. What's really strange about insecurity is insecurity puts all the focus back on us, right? And it is pride. I know we don't call it pride because that's not how we use that word.
Yeah.
But if I'm the center of the universe and everything's about me, even if I'm insecure and it makes me the center of the universe, like, it's still a pride problem for all of us. And so I guess for me, it doesn't surprise me that if there's a struggle for insecurity, there would also be a struggle with, like, I don't know, climbing some sort of imaginary ladder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so there are going to be people listening who are like, me too, Korbin. Like, me too. Like, I struggle with pride. I struggle with insecurity. I struggle with doubting myself. I struggle with the simplicity of even just God loves me. And so, like, what are some things you want to say to them?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that one of the things I wish, like, 17-year-old Korbin would have heard is that you don't have to strive for what God is just trying to give you. Like, you don't have to try to earn or measure up or take anything.
Like, it's really free.
Like, it really is just received. That's what a gift is. It's just received. You can't, that's what you do with a gift.
Yeah.
You receive it. And so when I think about Jesus' love and his mercy, it's not like, cool, I can do whatever the heck I want. It's like, what would it look like for me to receive this in my life? And there's a quote by some saint that none of us know. She lived a long time ago, but she said that we walk in friendship with Jesus, not by giving his mercy back, but by giving it away. And so I think I would say we cannot ever truly love our neighbor or even ourselves until we know that we're loved by God.
Yeah. Because what else can we give other people if we're not giving them his love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we all have relationships, and relationships are hard. And so I would just say, ask yourself, like, do you actually, not only do you believe that God loves you, but do you trust it? And, when we trust it, we live as if it's true. And so,
yeah, I think if you're hearing Korbin, I think like we both just want to reiterate that you are so loved. Like you are so loved, like not just by people, not just by family or friends or coworkers, but like the God of the universe who created all things sees you, and he sees every flaw you have, which I know is kind of scary. But in spite of all of that, his love doesn't change.
Yeah.
Like he sees all the mess of all of us, and then he says, I love you so much and I couldn't love you anymore.
Yeah.
And so if you have a desire to feel loved, there is no one who loves you like God loves you. If you have a desire to give love away, I think what I'm hearing Korbin say is don't give away some version of your own love. Give away God's love, like receive his love and give it away, because it's never ending. So no matter how much you give away, there's plenty at all times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Korbin, we're going to wrap up. So what else do you want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would just say, like, I'm thinking of people like me. I mean, I know tons of people, many people are going to listen to this, church people, non-church people, whoever you are, but every one of us has a relationship with the Bible, with church, with God, whether how little or how big it is, or how meaningful it is, or whatever. I would say, don't settle for just a mediocre version of what you think following Jesus is.
That's good.
Because that was me. And the biggest danger for us, for most people, isn't that we're just going to renounce our faith entirely. It's that we'll just settle.
Yeah.
We'll just settle. We'll call it good. Yep. We'll say we've got this is good enough. And I would just say don't do that, because there's so much more. Yeah. So
I do feel like I at least need to acknowledge before we get off here that I've been to OKC. I came and visited Korbin as a part of the interview process, and he took me around the city. If you've never been to Oklahoma City, it is wonderful.
It is.
Like, it's like easy to get around downtown. They've got great coffee shops down there. What was that coffee shop?
Yeah, shout out Coffee Slingers. Downtown OKC, Broadway Avenue. Hit up Coffee Slingers. Hit up Ends of the Earth Coffee. Hit up Scissortail Park. And, of course, go to OKC Thunder game. Yeah. Yeah. Great city.
People from OKC love the Thunder because that's all they have.
True. It's true.
Well, Korbin, thanks for being on this with me today. Yeah, man, it's an honor to work with you. I love that you're here. I know that you're the youngest member of our staff and that you're working with our students. But honestly, just journeying ministry with you, I feel like I learned from you. So thank you for listening to the Spirit. And thank you for being someone who's letting Jesus change their life.
Thanks, man.
And so thanks for being with us today. Hey, listen, the only goal of this podcast is to keep asking the question, how is Jesus changing my life, and who do I need to tell about it? And so our hope is that you'll ask that question of yourself, and that you will share with the community around you how Jesus is changing your life as well. Have a great week.